Welcome. This podcast is a series of candid conversations exploring the human experience from a completely new perspective. In it, we will be diving deeply into the meaning of commonly used words and pointing you away from that old stressful way of looking at life and towards a new paradigm. This will help you find a sense of calm, cultivate meaningful relationships, and create harmony in every aspect of your life. Here is Navigating Life with Ease with Michaela, Ellis and Clare Downham.
Clare.
Hello, hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm so good, and I have a word. It's come up. It was, really strong. Wish.
Oh, yeah. Well, the first thing that came to mind when you said that was that is it a bit of the song? It's in another Disney movie. A wish is a dream your heart makes, or something like that. It's one of the songs. I think, is it in Cinderella? I can't remember. Anyway, but I'm really seeing a lot about this at the moment, not least because I went to see the film Wish on Sunday, and I won't spoil it too much for the listeners, but I will just say and I'm sure you'll agree, go watch it or find a way to watch it. Still floating around at the cinema here, and it was on one of these kind of Sunday morning, cheap and cheerful, take your kids, and we happen to have a child available to go. Because it's one of these where you haven't got a child with you, but we have a child that week. It was our have a child weekend because my kids are in their 20s and can't really pass for children anymore. And so we just went to see. We just thought, let's just do this. It's Sunday morning kind of thing, and it really spoke to this thing I really am seeing more and more about at the moment, about, I guess, what you might call success or desire or following your dreams or manifesting what you want into the world, that everybody's got so much inside them that doesn't ever, for many people, never comes out into the world, because that voice keeps saying, that's your thing, do that thing, follow that thing. And it's quietly whispering that to us, saying, this is your wish, this is what you really want, this is what you need to follow. And then that ego comes in, that inner critic, or that the fear, the protective voice says, oh no, you who do you think you are doing that? That's not a thing you can do. You're gonna look downright stupid. Everybody's gonna laugh at you. People are gonna judge you. You can't do that anyway. You're not capable. Whatever. There just then is all this noise that stops us then, because then we start to feel icky, and we think the icky feeling is about the wish, the thing that's to come out of our heart. And it's not. It's about the action, but it's about thinking about the action. It's not about the action. There's no danger in the action at all. But our protective, inner critic is going, oh no, don't do that. You look stupid. It's going to, so then there's this awful feeling. And it's funny because I was just live on Insight Time before this, and I was talking about, the title of the session was how to reveal what's in your heart, or something like that. So it really is just exactly what I've been talking about. And I was saying there's something about tuning into your wish, like really tuning into it and starting to tune into that voice. And I'd been on a walk this morning, and there were 3 things where I just heard a little nudge to do something. And the first thing was, I was walking past a camper van, and there was the title of a Facebook group on the side of this camper van, and it was something about safe space for van lifers or something like that. And I thought, oh, that sounds interesting. And my heart said, oh, just take a photograph of that and have a look at that Facebook group. It could be either interesting for me as somebody who frequently lives in her motorhome and does a bit of van lifing, or just, is that a group of people who might want help, or, it just felt a nudge to photograph it so that I could, because I don't have the apps on my phone anymore, so I can't look up a Facebook group there and then. I need to come back and look at it on a computer. And I walked past, and then I went, "What are you doing? Go back and take a photograph." Because there's a bit of me going, "Well, you can't do that because people are going to think you're really weird photographing the side of somebody else's vehicle. You can't just do that. They might come out and see you and be cross with you, or it's just like all the thinking that came. It was just about something's just so small, but I think it's almost like we have lots of little wishes, and we need to just keep grabbing each of them and just like doing the little things so that we almost get tuned into the trust, to the it's safe to do that. It's safe to go against the voice in the head that says, whatever else it says, nadi nadi na. And the other thing was I was listening to a podcast, and they were talking about aligning more of your action as a woman with the moon cycle. And I'm definitely noticing that when it's a full moon, I have a very creative, lots of things change, lots of things I have a creative face, then that's when I'm really buzzy and creative. And then as the moon sort of wanes, as it loses light, I'll have, like, today, I've been just like, "Oh, I'm gonna go for a walk, and then I'm gonna have a nap." I mean, it's just hardly achieved anything, which is fine. But I said, "Look," so I was thinking to myself, "Well, what if I just, like, completely blanked out my diary for 5 days, the full moon in the middle, and then 2 days out? What if I just went, 'Right, I'm not seeing anybody because I'm gonna take full advantage of this creative. I'm gonna maybe do all my creating for the whole month in that 5 days because I'm literally buzzing with ideas and stuff.' What if I just followed that?" So I came home and I blanked out my diary for that 5 days. And of course, then my voice is going, "Well, excuse me, but what if the most important client in the world wants to see you in those 5 days or blah, blah, blah?" And I'm like, "No, shut up. I don't really care." Like, I don't care. I'm trusting this nudge to say to myself, "No, actually, you're really noticing something about your energetic cycles and how they work. And to get the best out of you, it makes sense to do something about this." So, and the other thing was just a thing that came up on the same walk where it was like, "Oh, I've got one of my group that I'm helping to get going on Insta time, and she's had a few glitches. They've kept turning down her profile." And I just thought, "Oh, her profile's been published." And I looked on Insta, and there it was. I looked on Insta time, and there it was. And I was right. And that was like, "Oh, that's really interesting." And it just popped into my head. So I think there's something almost like there's all these little micro wishes that come out, and if we take action towards those, we then get a little bit of feedback from the world. We get to see something new. I get to experiment now with this 5 days where I don't see anybody else and I focus on my creative urges, as it were. And I get to see what happens when I do that now. And then we get a bit of feedback, and then something else comes to life. But if we just keep ignoring that, like the voice of the wish, let's call it, like if we just keep ignoring that, if we keep squashing it down, it's almost like we're not trusting ourselves. We're not trusting these nudges from inside us. We keep on squashing them, and then we don't, it never comes to life. And I think particularly where I'm really seeing that my work is with women more and more now, and that we kind of need something to change in the world. And I think that women are that change. And I love all the men who listen to this podcast, but I do feel that there's a shift, and therefore I want to help women bring those wishes to life and create that change in the world, a shift in consciousness that we really do need as a species if we're going to survive, really, fundamentally. So there you go. That was a longer ramble than I normally do on these, but that's really something that's really alive in me at the moment. So I'd love to. thoughts.
Yeah. Well, I'll start with, I believe that the many men in the world will actually welcome a shift and relieve some self pressure, societal pressure that maybe is put on them, and that I do it in my own household unwittingly. Well, not anymore, but I have seen myself do things, joke around with, that's a blue job. On the jobs. Yeah.
Motorhome toilet. Definitely a blue job.
So I think maybe not all, but I think there will be many who would actually welcome that shift in energy and responsibility. Although I don't see it as responsibility. Could be. I know this is kind of getting a little bit off track, but it felt important. It's like seeing the world as this collaborative game. I like to see life as a collaborative game, like that we used to play with our kids. We used to play collaborative board games where, everybody helps each other out in some way. So I can see that can be spread out a little more. And we do a great job, that kind of thing. To the wish, and I just want to say right here, right now, I follow the moon. Not really strictly, but I have a special calendar that shows the moon because it goes through different energies. It goes through all the energies of the zodiac throughout the month. So there is time to do deep work. There's time to do short little bits of work. There's time to teach. There's times, better times. And then individually, there's your houses, your personal houses. So I have a calendar that is on there too. So I always know I'm in the 11th house right now, which is really great for community and that kind of thing. So we can adjust these. I think in this whole idea about wishing, all of these things are already in alignment, aligning the world for us, for our wishes to become a reality. Even in the cycle of the moon, because the cycle of the moon and the solar system and astrological system, it was created by this one force energy, the same one that's living through us. So it makes sense to me to pay attention to it. I don't check it. When I'm having a rough time, it's like, where am I? It's like, oh, okay, good, great. Thank you. That makes sense. Now I'm not, it helps take a little bit of my thinking off my mind. So now let's get to the wish. If these ever make it out onto our YouTube channels, then listeners, you would have seen Claire do this little Pac-Man thing with her hands. It's like, it's like there's these little wishes that are like, there's a wish, and it's leading you somewhere to like this bigger wish. And it's like, yeah, I see each of those little Pac-Man bites a moment in time, the present moment. Every moment is a little nibble. It's like a little nibble. And it's like when you know that you only get a little nibble, you want to make that little nibble like really tasty, really good, really yummy, really juicy, really like whatever is it for you, creamy, crunchy, salty. Make it really good. Because when you're, nibbling on, and what I'm really talking about is, what is the feeling of it? Does it feel really good? Is it really satisfying? And if it's scaring you, or it's worrying you, or it's feeling dark, or it's feeling low, it's like you're nibbling on the wrong thing. Your attention's on the wrong thing. So I do see that our wishes are coming true. And if we look back in our life, we often, say, tell me about your life. And at first, we might tell of all the highlights. We might get a mix of highlights of good things that happened and also things that we would deem not good. Some of us might talk more about this. We might see more of the things that haven't been working out for us or that hadn't than we do the things that do. But if we really just settle back and just really allow your attention to just sort of float over your past, just allow it to float over it and just pick up, oh, wow, look at all the good things that have happened. Ah, look at all the things that did come true. Look at all the things that were working. It's like it's happening all the time. We're making our wishes come true all the time when we allow that feeling, that inspiration, that lift of spirit, that, drawing like you this morning on your walk, having this noticing. It can be simple. It doesn't have to be, oh, I was inspired. I was totally lifted. I was out of my mind. No, it could be, hey, you noticed something. I noticed this sign on the van and something told me to take a picture. Is that? It's so simple. It's so simple. We kind of tend to dismiss those little things. Or, yes, our ego mind or personal mind comes up with all kinds of reasons why you can't, shouldn't, won't work. What will people think? Oh my gosh, don't even go there. We were talking about, I hope it's okay. We're talking about changing some things about how we speak about what we work or how we work or what our focus is on. And it's just the thought of, oh, I got, there's changes that, oh, there's digital and there's all this. It's forget about all that. Forget about all that. I don't have to do that. We don't have to do that. We just need to be ourselves and start speaking into the world. Continue to speak into the world as we're guided to speak in. You too, listener. You too. And you will be presented a moment and a moment and a moment where you get to choose. And in your choice, in what you put your attention on, your dream is in there. If it's feeling good, your wish is there. Your wish is there. And all the things that are meant to be done, maybe there's something that needs to be done. It's going to come up. We'll know what to do when the moment arises where it's that nibble's time. And then you take that nibble. You take that nibble and you just keep experiencing. Here's the thing. The wish, I don't see the wish as one big wish. I see it just like you saw it. It's a journey. It's like the whole wish is a journey. There's not, how we, have been looking at working for so many years that you work, and you save your money, you grind away. And then hopefully at the end, you get to have a break and rest and enjoy. It's oh gosh, please don't do that. Please don't do that. Enjoy every moment. Enjoy every moment. That doesn't mean, okay, I'm not going to save mine. I'm just going to spend it. I'm going to do it. Doesn't mean that. It means follow your heart. Follow those inner nudges. They will guide you. They're letting you know exactly what to do every moment with a little tiny whisper or nudge. Always been given a little nibble. Wow. Life really could be so much easier to navigate and is so much easier to navigate when we listen and just follow that. Hey, Oh my
Definitely.
gosh. It's sometimes when, like in this moment, I feel like surprised again by how simple it really is and how incredibly complicated we innocently make it.
Mm.
Even when we know, you and I have been in this understanding for a number of years now. I know it's been over 4 for you, coming up 4 for me, a number of years. Even then, I forget. I forget, and but more and more, it's like, "Oh, I'm on to you. I know how you work, my little ego mind, little Michaela mind, trying to bring up all she knows in the past to kinda like, don't go past here because that's the unknown, you know? And those nibbles do take you into the unknown, but it's fun. See it as an adventure. Be curious. Know you're okay. You're okay.
Mm.
You'll be okay, and you are okay. And you can have your wish. Taste your nibble. That's like eating your cake, having your cake and eating it too.
Yeah. It's just like you said, it's just taking each little step in the present moment and seeing. I like to see that there's some feedback, like the game of, we call it snakes and ladders, I believe you call it shoots and ladders,
Yeah,
um, where you roll the dice, you get a bit of feedback, then you roll the dice again, and each roll of the dice is just another little nudge towards, another little nibble, isn't it? It's another little bite. Get a bit of
yeah,
feedback, then something else will occur and make sense. But you're right, we've overcomplicated it beyond belief, really.
yeah, yeah,
But I think it is just starting to just for like, if anybody's listening to this and just thinking, "I don't even know where to start," it's just, with the trust side of it, it's just starting to just do those little, like those 3 things on my walk that just went, "Oh, yeah, they're quite little things." Stopping, taking that photograph of the side of a camper van, you know, scheduling that bit of my diary. They're okay things to do. Nobody's gonna die if I do those. And so maybe that's the place for people to just play to start with, just yeah, to experiment, to
yeah,
see to see what happens when you just take one of those little bites and see what comes back from that.
yeah.
So,
And if I was trying to find my finger in it because I know my screen is flipped, so it's confusing to me. And if you aren't clear about the voice, if you have a tricky time identifying those nudges, just start to notice how you're feeling.
mm,
And from a feeling, like if you notice that, oh my gosh, my shoulders are up to my ears, I'm so tense and you know, upset or nervous or whatever it is, stressed, whatever the feeling is, or angry or whatever, it's just like, okay, then just notice that feeling. Just by noticing it, it'll already start to ease. But and then look to, okay, what was I just thinking about? And it could have been a number of things. You could have been thinking about so many things. So just notice that, oh, okay, I can see how I was thinking about, oh my gosh, how am I going to pay for that? How are we going to get to, this next month? Or, what am I going to take for, that thing I got to go to at whatever, like all of these things we kind of stack. Just notice the pressure that you're putting on yourself. Just notice how your own thoughts are doing it. That's just a great way to start too. If you aren't hearing yet those voices, just notice what you're feeling and then take a look into your thought bubble, and see what's going on in there. You'll start to learn about yourself, start to get to know yourself better.
Hmm. What I'm noticing as well is if that I can just sit with the feeling without getting too involved in the mind, because the mind just all of it's nonsense, isn't it? But when I
Mm-hmm.
sit with the feeling and just observe that emotion, energy in motion in my body, then that brings me into the present moment, and then from that space of being present with what is arising, I can go, "Oh, yeah, actually, now there's a bit more clarity. Now it's clear, you know, what I
Yeah,
need to do or what the next step is or what I'm being nudged towards. What's my next little bite of the wish?"
absolutely. It's all in an effort to create more space in your mind so you can hear the nudges and you start to recognize what they sound like or feel like. Yeah, cool.
Mm. And then
Mhm.
what came out as well for how it's our thinking about the action that then creates the discomfort. And I think that's a gift because it's like I said it on my live earlier. I said it's like a burglar in a pink lycra catsuit with a big, pink light bulb on their head. Like they're really obviously up to mischief, and everybody in the street can see them because they're so like fluorescent pink with a big like no burglars do that. Like the resistance against taking the action, which of course is the inner critical nonsense. It's pretty bolshy and loud and uncomfortable and shouty and like a burglar in a pink catsuit. So it's quite cool when you can start to go, "Oh, no, that's not about the thing that I'm about to do. That's about my thinking about the thing I'm about to do." Then you kind of go,
Yes.
"Oh, yeah, there's the burglar in the pink catsuit up to its old tricks." But really, look at the state of it. It's pretty obvious, because I feel terrible. And when you can sit with that feeling and allow that, then the action can happen again without, feeling stuck or scared. I think fear comes up massively, I think, for that.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
So watch out for a burglar in a pink catsuit stealing
That's
your
right.
books.
Sounds like the Pink Panther to me.
Yeah, does a bit, doesn't it?
Mhm. Mhm.
Hmm, thank you. That was lovely.
Yeah, thank you. That was great. Appreciate that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I will see you again next time.
You
Thank you.
betcha. Yeah.
Yeah,
Take
take care.
care.
Bye.
Ciao. Hey, thank you for being a part of Navigating Life with Ease. We'd love to hear your feedback and receive a review on your favorite podcast platform. This will help others who'd also like more ease in their life to find us. We're here to support you, so if you've any words you'd like us to explore or you've a question, please reach out to us at navigatinglifewithease@gmail.com. Again, thanks for listening, and stay tuned for more episodes of Navigating Life with Ease.